Here's a look at the eMiniDayTrader trades and market outlook for Wednesday, January the 20th, 2010. Well, we always like to start with our profiles here, and of course this is today's profile. This was yesterday's profile, so big up and big down. And the one in between here, in the middle here, is what occurred in the Globex or overnight session. So we had a really nice up day yesterday, and a market started to obviously pull back in the overnight, and we were looking at around 3750 as an area, sort of a above below kind of thing, where if the market could hold below, it would turn the at least the short-term intraday bias to down. And as you can see, it did dip below there in the overnight, even though it closed right here, and then the RTH opened here, but then quickly went down below. So it gave us a negative bias, structurally speaking, going into the day. Now, what ends up by happening with our software is that we have, there's the regular daily profiles, we have at the bottom of our chart, as you see, we have a color code, and if it's red or dark red, it's bullish. And if it's green, it's bullish. So now this is only for the current day. So whenever we have an event, a structure, form, a movement in the market that says to us on an intraday basis or a day-to-day basis that we got to watch out for that barrier. The market is now trading below it. So to be taking trades below that level, we would obviously be reluctant to do so, especially if it's butted up fairly close to it. Well, we had one of those kind of situations today because we had our 3750 barrier, which was right up here, and yet we ended up on the daytime frame with a long trade being triggered right here. So that distance from there to there was only 1 point. So from a strictly mechanical standpoint, this would be a stop out, but our traders knew that that barrier was there, and not only was the barrier there, but we knew that the intraday bias had shifted to down because the market was trading below that barrier at 3750. And so we're going to mark it on the website as a losing trade, as being stopped out. But most of our traders, and I say most because some of the new ones may not have been paying attention, but our traders would have knew this. They would have known it. They did know it. It was posted on our member side of our website. We have a chart that updates this information every day, and of course I talk about it at some length on the members video, which by the way is usually runs about 15 or 20 minutes long, much longer and much more detailed than this one I'm doing for you right now. The one that we do here is just to kind of give you a ballpark idea of how we look at the market, what our trades were, and what our market outlook is going forward. So at any rate, that turned out to be a losing trade based on that. However, most of our traders did not take the trade. We then had a short trade here, which ended up by being just a break even. Although we got nicked on this just by 1 tick right here before it had a nice move down. We had another short trade here that worked out nicely. So we actually ended up with a couple of trades here, a break even and a nicely winning trade. This one here, well, I guess I should actually label this as 2, and then this is 3, and then this first trade was number 1. Although, as I said, most of our traders did not take that trade because of the change in the intraday bias, because of where the market traded overnight, and that our entry price was only 1 point below that resistance barrier. So obviously we don't want to be long right below a known resistance barrier, so that's why that trade was not taken. So at any rate, just a couple of trades there today. In essence, a break even, which was this one we just got nicked on here, and then the third trade here that hit our first 2 objectives. So at any rate, that's really it, and we're looking at in around that 27 to 29 area, still acting as good support. It had a nice bounce off of there, even though the market did hit down to 25.25 today. It did have a nice bounce off of that, so we're looking at the 29.30 as immediate resistance, and then around 35, which is where we got to today, But after that, up around 37 to 38 is the next resistance area. So at any rate, that's a quick look at the market. Any questions or comments, please get a hold of us. We're at info@eMiniDayTrader.com, and of course our phone number is also on the website. So thanks for taking the time to view the video, and we'll see you again tomorrow.